This is a show that will blow your mind, but it might not. It all depends. Do you like breakfast and a book with a friend?
We're gonna pause for a minute. We're gonna wait till people show up. We're gonna sing the songs to you because we love to sing the songs. My cats are hanging out in here now. You might get lucky and see them. Well, hey, let's take a look at the cats. Hey guys, there's one of the cats sneaking out. Today on Breakfast and a Book with Swallow, we are eating French toast sticks. I don't know why I refer to myself as we. That doesn't seem like a smart thing to do. How many people are in you, Ron Swallow? Nobody knows. Maybe there's 14 people inside Ron Swallow. Oh yeah, success, guys. The French toast sticks were delicious. So, I didn't want to have you guys watch me cook today, because it's the French toast sticks. You already saw me make French toast, so it's the same thing basically, but just stick versions. You cut them up. You cut up the bread, and then my friend Denise says, "Hi, hi, Denise. How's it going?" Alex says, "I'm eating them too, as you were kind enough to give me some." Yes, they're amazing. You're welcome. You're welcome. Got to be good at something. Cooking, making weird videos, telling jokes, and reading books. That's what I do. So, I hope you're all out there quarantined in your house. You better be quarantined. You better be staying inside, being safe. But I hope also that you are being entertained by me and having a nice time hanging out with the few people that you get to hang out with. I hope there's one or two that like you're gonna be around anyway, so at least you're not like just by yourself. But you know what? If you're just by yourself, that is the perfect opportunity to eat bacon and to read books. Lulu be good. Hi, Lulu. Is that your real name, Lulu? Will Lulu be good? That it would be crazy, but it doesn't mean it's not unlikely. I mean, my last name is Swallow, so who knows? I don't think anything is possible. So this book is called The Innocent Mage, Kingmaker, King Breaker. As you can see, it is a thick-ass epic fantasy book, and it is more in the traditional style of fantasy books. I'll read you the back, and then I'll tell you some of the plot. It's pretty great. It's very long, but it's pretty great. So, the innocent mage is come, and we stand at the beginning and the end of everything. Lulu's name is Lucy. Good name, Lucy. Being a fisherman like his father isn't a bad life, but it's not the one that Asher wants. Despite his humble roots, Asher has grand dreams, and they call him to Dorana, home of princes, beggars, and the warrior mages who have protected the kingdom for generations. Little does Asher know, however, that his arrival in the city is being closely watched by members of the Circle, people dedicated to preserving an ancient magic. Asher might have come to the city to make his fortune, but he will find his destiny. It's dramatic, right? It is dramatic. It's very dramatic. So, first off, I'll just tell you a little bit about this book, because this is one of those ones that, like, it's very complicated, but it's also one of those great, like, underdog stories. I love an underdog story. So, Asher is, like, he's a fisherman. Even when he goes to the new city to, like, you know, make his own way, basically, he becomes a stable guy. He's like working with the stables, and but then it turns out he's really good with horses, right? So he starts breaking in horses and training them to take warriors out and all that stuff, and he's amazing at that. And he becomes friends with the king. And Alex says, yeah, for the underdog. That's right, totally for the underdog. Lulu said, first time I saw you was in Tulare, and you were funny. someday the pick of you and me will be legendary. Oh yeah, Lucy. Tulare was crazy. That was a fun gig. Um, so then this is so then he becomes friends with the king, and the king's like, join my, I want you to be part of this because you're amazing and talented and smart, and you have all these great different ideas. And he's smart and talented, and he works hard, and he's makes it from being a fisherman's son, being a stable guy, literally shoveling crap, to working with the king. And then eventually, later on in the books, he's like a big bad king mage breaker guy. But one of the things I like to do when I pick out a book, and this is one of those ones where I actually did this. I'll look at it and be like, oh, person with a cloak and a hood. Ooh, interesting. Let's see what that's about. So then I open up the book in the middle, and then I read. Again, she pulled her hands free. We don't know there aren't. A man like Morg, a magician of his unspeakable powers and unbridled lust for domination. Who knows what legacy he has left behind him? Who can say how far his hand stretched? He may have spawned children. He may have founded a dynasty of tyrants that has stretched from his time to ours. All that stands between us and the fruit of these diseased days, their savagery and their slaughter, is the wall. Would I stand idly by as your father kills himself by inches protected if I didn't believe the sacrifice was necessary? Would I give up a child of my body to the same cruel fate? Another word, another syllable, and she would have him in tears. I know you wouldn't, he said, his voice unsteady. I wish you told me this sooner. I wish I could do more to spare him. I wish. She wrapped her arms around him then and held him close to her breast. Forgive me, she breathed, her own voice breaking. I'm all to pieces, dearest. It was wrong of me to speak on it, especially now. Your father is making a fine recovery, and I fear he'd be vexed indeed to learn I'd made you worry. She felt as frail as a sparrow. Don't, Mama. Don't treat me like a child. When I come back, we'll speak more on this. We'll find a way to spare him, I promise you. A ripple of laughter rising to a wave ran through the crowd that had gathered to see him depart for the coast. His mother loosened her grip, and they stepped apart to see what was causing the commotion. Asher, the thrown stone, jogged his horse down the path from the storehouses at the rear of the tower. Slung over the front of his saddle was Willer, plump rump quivering like a satin-covered jelly, short legs kicking the innocent air. He was shrieking. Yeah, the writing is great. That's what I'm saying. Listen to this specific paragraph right here. Asher, the thrown stone, jogged his horse down the path from the storehouses at the rear of the tower. Slung over the front of his saddle was Willer, plump rump quivering like a satin-covered jelly, short legs kicking the innocent air. He was shrieking. Put me down, oaf, cretin, barbarian, put me down! Did I tell you it was great? It is friggin' great. So again, the name of the book, Innocent Mage. The writer is Karen Miller. I actually need to get the second and the third book. It's a trilogy, and it is a thick read, so it does take you a little bit of time to check it out, but you should check it out. It is totally worth it. There's a bunch of funny parts. It's getting hot in here, guys. My Hero Academia shirt is on. And yes, Alex, you should read this. It's freaking great book. It's adventurous. You love Asher. It's great because he's this guy who talks like a stable hand, gets involved with the king, and he just says what he says, thinks what he thinks, and he doesn't really care what anybody else thinks about it. I mean, he's as polite as he can be, but he doesn't mince words because he knows that action and results are what counts, because that's his attitude. You guys, I don't know why. I know this is just French toast, but French toast sticks are better than regular French toast. I'm gonna say it. It's just better. And you eat them with bacon right afterwards. Oh my God, you guys, this is how you do it. His booty must have been popping for that. My cousin Connor says his booty must have been popping for that. Yeah. He's got a big old booty, is what I'm getting. my friend Leonid. I don't know how to say your name right. I always mess it up. Leonid, it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. No, that's not happening. Nobody wants to see that. My friend Alex, who is my roommate as well, said my French toast sticks rock. They were delicious. She literally licked her plate. See? I should open a restaurant, guys. It's gonna be French toast and bacon. Ooh, maybe French toast and chicken. I make good chicken. We also made this soup with the crock pot. This is what you do, guys. I'm going to give you a easy crock pot thing. Little bit of chicken broth, pour it in there. 2 chicken breasts. Just throw the chicken breasts in there. If you have them boneless, it's much easier. If you don't have them boneless, that's okay. Throw them in there. Potatoes, carrots, peas if you're interested in that. If not, I think corn is also good because corn keeps its like crunchiness. Put that in there. Put some water in there so that it's at the top. Then you put it on, bam, right? You let it, you gotta go for about 12 hours till the chicken is just like crumbling apart, right? Then what you do is you scoop out all the stuff, all the chicken, the potatoes, the corn, whatever else you put in there, put it in a bowl. Then you take the broth, pour it in a pan, add some flour. Oh yeah, also add a little garlic, a little bit of salt. I added some lemon pepper as well, and then you put some. So when you're cooking that, after you put it in there, add a little flour. You make a gravy, put the gravy back in, and you basically have pot pie filling, but it's also just like a delicious stew. So chicken stew, you guys. All I'm saying, guys, is this is your opportunity to start making cool food when you're at home, like. You know, if you've got a little, if you're still getting the food and you're not totally poor, first off, I want to say a couple of things also. Get help if you need help. Like, ask for help. Go sign up for food stamps. Sign up for whatever relief funds are going on in this situation. If you lost your job and you don't have money, don't like pull yourself up by your bootstraps like a crazy person because you're not going to be able to. What you do is you get the help that you need so that you can survive, so that you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps later. Also, what the fuck are bootstraps? Who has straps for their boots? I don't know. You just put your boots on. I don't understand. Did people have boots that didn't fit them correctly, so they had to like jerk on these bootstraps? My roommate says my roommate Alex says you are always cooking, like you are always in the kitchen. Yeah, I like to cook, and I think it's better to cook food than to just like, I don't know, get it from somewhere else. That's not as fun. You guys, French toast sticks, it's the way to go. Oh, also, at the end of the French toast sticks, I put a little French. I put a little French on it. I put a little brown sugar, not brown sugar, cinnamon and sugar mix. Bam! It makes it magical. So I want to go back one more time and tell you about this author. She's great, Karen Miller. And then Karen Miller, The Innocent Mage, Kingmaker, Kingbreaker, Bookworm. They dreamed him, and he came. I don't know. That was the log line right there. So I don't know if that's a little over the top, but this is. I will tell you this. This is a thick read. This is not one of those reads where you're like, oh, this is super easy. She uses big words. You may have to stop and look it up. By the way, that's another thing I like to do. When I don't know a word, I stop what I'm doing. I Google it, or I get a dictionary and I look up the word so that I know what's going on. And a lot of times you can kind of guess by the sentence what the word probably means, but you should still know exactly what the word means. Don't be one of those people who just skips over words, all like, well, whatever, I get the gist. Be smart, get smarter all the time. That's what the purpose of reading is not only enjoying reading and living in a new world for a little bit, but it's also to learn stuff, to get smarter, to be able to be a better thinker. There is a huge proof that reading does that. So I think that's it for today, you guys. Thank you, as always, for listening to my and watching my silly videos. Sometimes I don't say anything funny. Sometimes I do. Who knows what's going to happen, you guys? Sometimes I tell you a weird recipe for chicken stew. If you had a good time and you want to support art, that's being me. Oh, hey, now the other cat's jumping up. Sorry, distracted easily. Bam! Cats. Anyways, if you want to support art and you want to support me, you can go on my Venmo. It's at Ron-Swallow or PayPal, ronswallow at gmail. But also, you should listen to Nerd Goat. Check out Reboot It. And if you want to support me monthly, you can go to my Nerd Goat Patreon. And on Nerd Goat Patreon, we get you a whole bunch of cool, fun, extra stuff. So, like, you get to get extra podcasts. And if you sign up for the $7 tier, Ed and I draw you stuff and send it out to you. And that's great. Although right now, Kinko's is not open, so I cannot print anything out. But I'm going to be able to do that later. So thank you guys for listening, and everybody stay safe, clean, healthy, and have as much possible fun as you can during this quarantine. Get creative, make a cool video, do a weird thing. Oh yeah, also, this Friday at 8 p.m. most likely, I will be doing a live stand-up again. I know we're going to do a Reboot It, but I think we're doing that during the day. So 8 p.m. live stand-up every Friday until the end of the quarantine. Bye, guys.